Yep, got the whole Kitty Krew right now, eating their morning chow. We got Elrod there, Cleo, and we got Magoo. Of course, Cleo gonna come over here and be with Papa. Yep. And there's little Spookie, right here, right there. She or he, still can't tell, because I can't pick her up. Don't know why I say her, sometimes say him. Well, right now, it's an unknown. But as you can see, they're all loving breakfast. And for those of you who have made comments where the food bowls were, we moved them out here in the carport. Yep. So they could have some shade, lay out here on the cool concrete. And they got water. I just gave them some clean water. I gotta give them a little more. But what I do every morning, I mix up a can of wet cat food with 2 cups of dry, and that's their morning breakfast. And of course, they get some treats. And this is all because of you, the viewers. You sent them all the food, both dry and wet. They eat fine, folks. Cleo, you gonna get on in there now too? But I'm gonna have to get a bigger bowl. Now, Rick and Lulu sent some real cute bowls, like the one Trix has. You know, the pink one. And that, I've got them washed up. I've got to get them out here. But even then, I'm not sure that's going to be big enough. But know this. Old Mr. Tom, he's going to take care of the Kitty Krew. He takes care of them before he takes care of himself. It's just the way I've been all my life. It didn't matter whether it was kids, grandkids, or any animal I've ever had on any of my places. Farm animals or pets. They always came first in my life, and I came second. And if none of y'all had blessed us with all the food and treats and stuff, they'd still been just fine. I guarantee you that. Elrod, somebody else taking care of you. Otherwise, you'd still be over here chomping down. You just came by to say hi, huh? Yeah, oh well, Rod, he shows up about every other day. For a little bit in the morning, sometimes in the evenings. Somebody else is taking care of little Elrod. But these 3, Cleo here, then we got the Magooster, and then Spookie. Yep. Still ain't much on me, are you yet, Spookie? But you're getting better. In time. You're a ferocious little kitty, aren't you? Her favorite thing to do is give a little hiss, stick her tongue out at me. I don't know if she'll do it right now. She's hungry. But I knew y'all want to see him. Some of you haven't got to see Spookie yet. And then many of you always comment, where's Elrod? Well, he's still with us. But he just visits now. You gonna let me give you some rubbings, huh, Spook? Hmm? Oh, you gonna stick your tongue out at Papa? Well, I'm gonna leave you be. Let y'all finish your breakfast. And we're gonna do our morning walkabout and see how everything is here. on July the 5th, 2020. I do hope y'all had a fantastic, wonderful, and safe July the 4th celebration yesterday. I posted 2 videos so you know what old Mr. Tom was up to. I had a fine one, albeit I was by myself, well, you know, except for Magoo, who, once that fire burnt down a ways and I put my dinner on, was curled up in my lap, Cleo at my feet. Spookie? Nope, he was curled up on the back steps. He wanted to come, or she. Right now it's an it. Couldn't bring it herself, or himself, to come get too close. No, anyway, let's take a walkabout, see what's going on. Yep, we haven't been out this morning. Well, might take that back because I was out. Oh, and it was about 3 in the morning before I got back in the house. But you can see cucumbers come along fine. Now something I'm noticing here with this Picsander, and you might be able to see it, is how yellow these leaves are getting. Now, the Dinosaur are nice and green. See that difference? Now here again, the Picander's meant to grow in a greenhouse. And it's starting to get a few larger cucumbers on it. Still having some pollination issues. And that. There's another fine one. So I'm not too sure this cucumber variety is going to grow well outside or here in deep south. And that I'll check the pH later. Should be fine because these dinosaurs are looking good. Plenty of blossoms. And now we're starting to get female ones too. See right there, little cucumber? Yep. They're starting. There's another one. Now something you need to know is, like all these blossoms down here, they're all male. And that always happens. Cucumbers, squash, any curvant bits. Can't hardly pronounce that name good. And that. They always have male flowers first. There's another little cucumber down there. And then when the plant feels that it's doing good enough to produce fruit, it'll start setting female flowers. And that's what this one's doing. Now I'm just trying to continue to develop this variety. It was a variety that came about by chance in 2018, and it grew and grew and grew till it was probably 15-20 feet tall, and then grew all the way back down to the ground and across the driveway, and it produced cucumbers in great abundance all season long till it died in the frost. But now I look at it closer, it's got some yellowing in the leaves too. So I'm thinking we're going to have to hit this with some nitrogen fertilizer. Green her back up. It's been a couple of weeks. But overall, looking fine. And I am starting to see some bees. Loving these blossoms too. And that's a good thing. Bees have been pretty short around here this year. Oh, Elrod, you gonna walk with Papa since you're over here visiting? You gonna do the walkabout with me? Okay. Oh, I love you too. You're the biggest talker we got, aren't you? Popcorn's looking good, you know, our little experiment there. Can you grow corn in a pot? Like I say, we just took some seeds out of our Orville Redenbacher popcorn jar, stuck them in the pot, watered them, and they took right off. As you can see, they're about 3 feet high now. Rattlesnake pole beans over here, and this is something I'm going to talk about today, is they're suffering from the heat as well. You're going to see some yellowing in the leaves, but see, like this one right here, see how limp? Yep, heat's really getting to her. And that's something I've been noticing the last few years. You see there, those brown places? That's not a disease, and it's not bug damage. That's actually where the sun has burnt these leaves. Yep, I watched it happen. It's all down here too. So let me connect up the water to this. I'll probably start with the cucumbers first and this second. Let me go get the hose. I'll be right back. Okay, we got the water put on those cucumbers. So we're up here at the old clothesline plant. We're looking at our beef master. Now this one is looking fairly fine right at the moment, and I'll say this with caution. I don't see any Spatoria leaf spot on this tomato plant. Nope. And as you can see, it's got quite a few tomatoes getting rather large. Got to add a little more string to it. It's now above head height. Rattlesnake Kentucky Wonder pole beans. Like always, they got some yellowing of leaves off in here. And that where the leaves are shaded. But they're also showing, as you can see right here, these leaves where you're seeing the dried out, paper thin areas. Yep, that's sun scald on the leaves. And that starts to happen. Oh, beginning of June, definitely going to be prevalent July, August, September. And I've noticed it becoming more severe in the last 3 years, and I've been doing research on that. And I found some. Makes me believe I was right all along. UV radiation has been on the increase in the world over the past 30 years, with here in the last few years, with a 2 to 6%, depending on what latitude you're in, annual increase. Yes, sir. And it's that UV, you know, is why you put sunblock on, so you don't get a sunburn and get skin cancer. Of course, we all know skin cancer is on a dramatic increase all over the world. And we're going to have to start picking some more beans. I can see that. There's more up in there. A bunch more small ones coming on. Right there. And things, you know, that normally in years ago that I didn't see, the leaves getting burned up underneath the hot summer sun, which were pole beans. Normally they can take the heat. But another one was peppers. And I want to show you these peppers. And those of you who follow my walkabouts know that a couple weeks back these were all green and vibrant. Look at their leaves too. See this whole plant? Sort of limp. Now I watered it deep yesterday, but you can see now, and right now it is high noon. And that's why I wanted to continue this walkabout. I'll wait a little bit later to show you the effects of that direct sun on heat-loving plants. You can see here how that bean leaf has been scorched. But it's also affecting peppers. And one thing about growing in the same place year in, year out, like I have here for 25 years, I know this was not a problem I was having back even 10 years ago, let alone 5. This has really started to become an issue, especially here in the deep south. May not be an issue where you are, to some great extent since 2018. That's why I've been doing the research, trying to figure out just what's going on, because it's just not all about the summertime. Yep, there's quite a few beans up in there. And I like to bring that up. People say beans stop producing when it gets up 90s. Oh, there's a couple nice ones right there too. And they'll drop all their, oh, there's more up in that thick area up at the top. Oh, there's another nice one coming on. Had to pick these later this evening. But people say the beans stop producing, drop all their blossoms. Well, they'll definitely slow down. You can see there's new blossoms, new small beans forming with new blossoms. They will slow down depending on the variety. They will keep producing, or they'll totally shut down. Now, Blue Lake, which I love Blue Lake beans. I've never been successful in getting Blue Lakes to grow in the deep south. Now up in North Alabama, southern Tennessee, they did just fine. But not this far south. They just don't do anything. And I've tried planting them in the spring, early spring, and even in the late fall. Just can't get nothing out of it. And here's another effect of that high noon sun. Let me show you. See the butternut squash? See how all the leaves have folded down, limp? Well, this was watered too, just yesterday. And it'll get watered again today. But that's a defense mechanism of the plant. When the heat, temperature, sunlight gets too much for it, where it's losing way more water than the roots can take in, the leaves will start drooping down. It is the plant's way of reducing the surface area and moisture loss so it can survive. It's not good on the plant, but this time of year, what can you do? It's all part of growing in the deep south. Trying to grow in the summertime. Of course, the vine is now broke outside the perimeter. Yep, sort of knew that was going to happen. Bush beans still doing okay. They're still producing some. But you can see, if you look closely at the okra there, it's doing that same phenomenon. All the leaves are drooping down. Yep, trying to conserve moisture under this blazing heat. Now, something I'm noticing about these burpee gardens, oh yeah, we gotta pick these today. Yep. There's beans up in there high. Oh my God, yes. Look at that. Yep, this evening we'll be picking these beans too. So you can get a harvest, albeit it's going to be far less than would it have been if I'd have got these all on time, like normally I say. Try to have all my stuff in for the beginning of the year by no later than Good Friday. But I spend too much time analyzing, investigating, and researching COVID-19. So let time get away from me, as all of y'all know who've been with the channel. But it's not like I'm raising this food because I absolutely need it. I'm raising it because I enjoy a little fresh to go with what I have stored, because I definitely got food stored. And then all of y'all have seen to that too, with all the blessings that you sent on Mr. Tom and the Kitty Krew. Can't thank you all enough. I need to finish up the blessing video. About got her done. So you'll be seeing it here in the next few days. Now over here in the old raised bed, still got our onions Cadillacing. And that thyme is looking beautiful. And this sits in filtered shade. Thyme really loves that. Of course, you know the Greek oregano. It's just trying to go everywhere. And plus, it's bloom, so it's going to be seed. Of course, we about finished up the carrots. But one day this week, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, I went ahead and stuck me in some more tomato plants right here. Now these are volunteer tomato plants out of the worm box. Don't have a clue what they'll make or what they'll do. Don't really need them. I'm just growing them to see what they'll do. The tomatoes that I ate off them were fully natural, organic tomatoes. So I'm going to think these came from seed from a non-GMO, non-hybrid plant. But we'll see if any survive. Right now they're looking good. And right now they're disease free. And of course, got plenty of volunteer radishes growing all over the place. Yeah, somebody's real proud of their motorcycle. They keep circling the block. It's about to irritate me. Why? Because they're not from around here. Imagine that. Garlic chives doing wonderful. The oregano in the pot starting to get covered up by these radish that I planted in here just to check on the seed. Now, don't look like they're gonna make a bulb, but they're putting out the greens, like I've said. You know, I enjoy the radishes when they make, but I'll take the leaves. I enjoy them just as much, if not more. But all the tomatoes we put in, I think that was Wednesday, are looking fine. We'll just see how they progress. Keep an eye on for disease. And stuck in a few little tiny pepper seedlings there. Banana peppers. I've turned the water on to this too. And that's, you know, one thing you gotta do in the deep south, especially in any type of raised bed situation. You gotta water in the mornings and in the evenings. It starts becoming a twice a day thing. Of course, all of y'all seen a 4th of July fire video. And it's still smoldering some. These big old logs, you know, that's what remains of that log that fell on my house. And that still smoldering away. Now I'll have to pile up some small twigs and other stuff. There's no fear we'll have an abundance of small limbs constantly falling out of trees. And we'll scooch everything in. And we'll keep it burning till there's nothing left. And hopefully that stump down below is gone too. Oh, thank you for the sticks, Magoo. I appreciate that, little buddy. Go around and pick up some more sticks, okay? Yeah. Go around and pick up some more. Bring them over here and drop them on the fire, okay? See, just like this, just like you did. And get Cleo to help you too. She's coming. Yeah, go out and get them out of the yard. I gotta mow here a little bit later. So we'll just let that keep on burning down. So we'll go down here and check our south side timber fence planting area. And take a look at it. And the peppers here in this here tire planter are faring a little better, but you're still seeing some scorching. And see the leaves start to curl up. Yeah, this will need watered too, thoroughly and deeply. Lettuce, salad bowl, it's just about had the schnitzel. But that's okay. We've been eating it. And all of y'all know the story on the Atkinson tomatoes. They got hit pretty hard with that Spatoria leaf spot. And we trimmed it all off. We hit it with a quick spray. Try to save the other leaves. Of course, it rained that night. And we've had on and off little showers since then. I'm going to do my best to hit it again this evening when this area goes in the shade around 3 o'clock. And the same on these beef masters, which were looking really fine 2 weeks ago. I can't emphasize how fast those fungal diseases and viruses can take over your tomatoes. Woo, it can come on you in a heartbeat. But look at the size of some of these tomatoes. I mean, there's my hand. Yep. They don't look like they're going to be the prettiest. They're definitely going to be huge. But this up here looks fine. Got to add a couple strings. We got to extend these T-posts. Oh, because it looks like they're going to go up about 8 to 10 feet. Which is a good thing now that they done lost their bottom leaves and look so naked down here. In fact, that's why I refer to them now. My naked tomato plants. They look a little strange, but you can't say they aren't getting good airflow. But that's one thing I want to emphasize about gardening. During the height of summer in the deep south, you got to make a commitment. One, are you willing to water as much as twice a day? Two, are you willing to combat the disease, whether fungal or viral, that will come, not if. If the answer to that is yes, then it can be done. It's time consuming and a lot of work. Now here's another good example of a tomato. This is a husky cherry that was just a beautiful little transplant. But you can see how the sun has literally scorched those leaves. Yep, you can see. And I'm here to tell you that's not a disease. That's the sun. To some extent, it's on the okra too. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I started looking into this. Okra loves the heat. And I've never had a problem with okra until starting about 2018. And it started wilting in the midday sun really bad. Now it may have wilted a little bit in years past. Nothing like it does now. And this is Clemson spinous. I mean, it was developed and bred for the deep south. Clemson University. Yep. And it ain't handling it well. And here's another one of those volunteer tomatoes I got out of the, or no, this is my Parks Whopper tomato volunteer. That's right. And it's got some of that sun scorched or scalded leaves too. And you can see this squash right here, how its leaves are starting to droop. Yep, like I say, defensive mechanism, trying to lessen how much moisture it's losing by lessening the leaf surface that the sun can hit. But you can see over here on these rattlesnake pole beans how scorched these leaves have become. Yep. And this gets watered every day. Let's go down in here and I'll show you. You see right there? I know you can see it. That ground is nice and moist, see? It sticks together. So, not dry soil. Nope. It's just the sun cooking the plants, and I'm going to tell you what, it's cooking me. My back feels like it's on fire. Of course, I'm sure the red shirt ain't helping any. The only color that would be worse is dark blue or dark black. I guess that's why they wear cream colored and white in the desert. Reflect that sun back off you. Smart people. But cucumber, I got to get this where it can trellis. This is another dinosaur cucumber, the only one that made it over here. See, it's got its little tendrils out, and we'll put something up for it this afternoon so it can climb and that. But to show you in comparison between two tomatoes, you saw those out there that are basically in full sun from 10 to about 5 in the afternoon, which ain't long. 7 hours, 6 to 7, and their leaves are getting scorched. You take this one right here, which this is a sun sugar, another cherry hybrid, and it's in filtered shade. Now, a little later on in the afternoon, it'll get in full sun. But it's looking fine. Now, it ain't growing real fast, and that's something that's going to happen. One of two things are going to happen if your plant's in lower light or shade. It's either going to get really leggy or it's going to grow really slow. And it may or may not produce fruit. Or if it does, it may not produce as much as it would if it got 6 hours of full sunlight. But what I'm learning is, and looking back in old photographs of how and where I used to grow on this place, that was before the pine trees grew up the way they are, my two main garden areas were out back. They got the morning sun from sunrise till right around noon. Then they were in partial shade, the filtered sun, for the remainder of the day. And those garden areas did fantastic, but like I say, that was before the pine trees. Now the pine trees block the sun till where it's got to be around 10 o'clock before it hits the north garden area where you see those timbers piled up. And the Harley's back. We'll let him pass. But like I was saying, so now that garden area doesn't get any full sunlight till about 10, and then about 2 it's going back into partial filtered sunlight or shade. And that's where my bush beans are, my okra, and my winter squash, the butternuts. And you can see what's happening to those butternuts today. They're wilting away. Now I could really start dumping some water on them heavy, flood the ground, and they'd perk up a little, but they're not going to perk up all the way till the sun gets off. These are the challenges of growing in the deep south this time of year. That's why most people just call it quits come first week or two of July. Still got plenty of blueberries to pick. We picked up a gallon bag of these the day before yesterday, and I gave them to my neighbors, Billy and Eulalia, that live just south of me, house right beside me, to enjoy. She enjoys them with her breakfast, makes muffins, pancakes, eats them on her oatmeal. So I was proud I could do that, give somebody else with a blessing. Always makes me feel wonderful. Yeah, the blueberries, they're getting less, but I think it's easy to see there's still a pile of blueberries to be had, and that's with the birds, mockingbirds and blue jays. And every morning I eat quite a few just out of my hand. Here, y'all have some. They're yummy. Yes, they are. And if you don't got berry bushes around your place, and start doing you some edible landscaping, then you need to. That's just my suggestion. But we got to throw some water on these today too. And that, it'll make the berries bigger. But they're about as big as they get. They get about the size of a dime. They're not the biggest, but they are tasty. And the fig tree, it's still pumping out figs. And they're getting bigger. Of course, it's got to have water laid on it too. Still loaded up. And you know, I say we've been getting off and on rain. Well, that's true. But what I'm talking about is about, light to medium rain for 5 minutes to 15 to maybe 30. Don't even amount to 1/10 of an inch most times. Just enough to put everything nice and wet, stop you from doing anything till it all dries off. Of course, if it's in the heat of the day, that don't take long. But as is in the case in Deep South, our pop-up showers start coming early to mid-afternoon, you know, right when you can get back out and start doing something. And then one will pop up, wet everything down, you're finished for the day. And that because you don't need to be working in your plants when they're wet. That's a sure way to spread disease. Trust me. So what we got on the agenda today is string up some tomatoes this afternoon. Hit them with another fungal spray. And that. Add to their T-post so we can continue to tie them up. We've got to pick some beans. Both on the pole beans up there, the clothesline pole. And in the garden bed, the bush beans. And I don't think we're going to get a whole lot. I'll probably get enough for 2 or 3 messes for me. And that's really all I'm after. Yeah, if I get more than I think, I'll throw some in the freezer for later. I think I got 4-quart bags left from last year. So there, that's about it. That's how my little plantings look right now. That's my struggles and my problems. Right now, my largest problem is, of course, disease. And number one, of course, is the sun just slap burning them down. Even with me watering twice a day. So I know something's still way off. And I've been trying to spend my free time looking more and more into that. I have found some sites, one from NASA, that says yes, UV radiation has been on the rise over the past 30 years, and here in the last, since 2009, has been increasing by anywhere, like I say, from 2 to 6%, depending on what latitude you are at. So, if you're closer to the equator, or the tropics, like I am, it's going to be worse. And just stands to reason you start to see this phenomenon more between the hours of 10 and 2. Because that's when the sun is more directly overhead and there's far less atmosphere for the sun's rays to come in contact with, and otherwise diminish the UV radiation that reaches the earth. Another thing I've been looking into is cosmic rays. That's another form of radiation from outer space, and its detrimental effects. Not only in humans, we all know it's detrimental to humans, but also anything that's pretty much detrimental to an animal is somewhat detrimental to plants. The heat affects plants pretty much like it affects us and other animals, causing them to lose more moisture and suffer more heat stress, just like we do. We're in the mid-90s right now today, and we don't hardly have a breeze, so it's just terrible out here. The humidity's so high, you just sweat sitting. But maybe rain will hold off. I'll be able to get everything done. What I'm going to do right now is head on in, check on tricks, get me some cold water, and I'm going to wait out this heat. And I'll come back out around 3 this afternoon. And I'll work from 3 to about 8 o'clock this evening. That's about the best time of day to be working. Well, other than getting up at 6, out by 7, and working from 7 to 10, or 6 to 10, depending on when I get up. Now, I'll be honest. I sat out there tending that fire, thinking about many things last night on July 4th. Thinking about many of you all out there. Some of the issues, health problems, financial problems, and things that you are facing. and that. Thinking about my family, my friends, my grandson, my children. I think I ran through about everybody. And then about as the fire was about to die down totally, I made sure I spoke to God about everyone. And I prayed that He'd bless us all. But y'all, that's about all the old man's got for today. Trying to do this here garden walkabout about every Sunday. Unless there's something earth-shattering, like that Spatoria leaf spot had become. I had to show you right then because I need to deal with it. It wasn't going to be there. And then come this today, Sunday. All of you would have saw is half-naked plants. And I would have got a lot of questions, which I'd probably explain some on the video, just like I did today. But, if you're wondering, I am using Ortho Garden Disease Liquid. It's a full spectrum fungal and viral fungicide because I want to save the plants. And I'm okay with that. Neem oil, trust me, wouldn't touch that stuff. Never has, never will. Just like spraying neem oil on early blight, ain't gonna do it. Gray leaf spot either. Now, I will say this about the neem oil. If you spray it on there from day one and keep it on there, it will shield your leaves and keep the spores, which like I said are airborne, from infecting. That's pretty hard to do with off and on rain showers all the time, isn't it? So until I see you on the next video, y'all take care out there, stay safe, and God bless each and every one of you. Goodbye for now.